Hello everyone. Let's get going with our cuboid surface area. You need your notes, so make sure you've got that out, and a pencil. So now we've got everything, let's get going. We're going to start with cuboids, and cuboids is just a fancy word for shapes that kind of look like cubes, but not really. That's my technical explanation for that. They are the formula for them are all similar. So that's why we call them cuboids, because we can use the same formula for all sorts of different sizes of these. But let's just get started with what our cuboids formulas use. There's a whole bunch of letters in there, and what do those letters mean? Well, L stands for length. So that is the length of our shape. So when it's sitting down like this, what's this distance here? How far is that? And then our height is H. Height stands for how tall is it? So how far is it off the ground? How high does it go? And then W is our width, and width is how far back. So how wide is it? Okay, so those are what our numbers mean. When you're doing the surface area of a cuboid, there are actually a total of 6 faces, which means we should technically have to figure out the area of 6 different sides of our shape. But instead of making it so difficult, we make it a little easier by noticing that the top and the bottom are congruent. They're the same. So instead of having to multiply that, do the same math for that twice, we just multiply it by 2. And the same with the sides and the ends. They're all the same. So if we, instead of having to do it 6 times, we just multiply it, and then we only have to do it half as many times. Okay, so let's get started with some math here and see if we can work this out. So let's pretend that our length is 6 centimeters. Our height is 8 centimeters, and our width is 5 centimeters. Okay, so with our length and our height, we're actually figuring out the distance, or the area of this side and this side. Okay, that's our length and our height. So how far along does it go this way, and how high up does it go? And since these two are the same, we're going to multiply it by 2. Okay, so let's write in our numbers for that. Surface area equals 2 times length, which is 6 centimeters, times height, which is our 8 centimeters. Okay, keep writing. Now we're going to figure out our width and our height. So that's this side and this side here, right? So how far back, how deep is the object, how wide is it, and how high. So that, our W, if we look over here, we've got 5 centimeters, and our height is 8 centimeters. Okay? And lastly, we're going to do the top and the bottom. It's our length and our width. So what's the area of this shape on the top and this shape on the bottom? And since they're the same, we can just multiply it by 2 to figure out. So our length is 6 centimeters, and our width is 5 centimeters. Okay, so now you can whip out your trusty calculator if you think you need it. If you can try and do this in your head, then go for it. And we're just going to work out the math in the brackets. So remember your order of operations: brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is our brackets. So I'm going to write the 2 in because we're not ready to use that just yet. And 6 times 8 is 48. Keep going, write out the things we're not ready to use yet. 5 times 8 is 40. And keep writing. 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, so now we've taken care of that step. Now we're going to look for our exponents. Do we have any exponents? No exponents. Awesome. So the next one is division. I don't see any division. And we're moving on to our multiplication. So 2 times 48 is 96. 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 times 40 is 80. And carry on. 2 times 3 is 6. So 2 times 30 is 60. Okay? Last step is our addition. That's what we get to do next. So 96 plus 80 plus 60 should give you a total of 236. So are we done? We are not, because we are missing something here. 236, what does that tell us? We have a number, we don't know what it means. We have 236 centimeters, which would be a 236 centimeter long line. But we're not measuring a line, we're measuring space, right? So in order to make that clear, we need to put a little 2 up there, and that tells us that that is area. So it's 236 centimeters squared. Okay, that little 2 is the difference between a right and a wrong answer, so don't forget that little 2. Okay, if you need some help with this, you can go back and look at the video again. try a couple on your own. You can put in some different numbers in there and try it on your own. If you need some help, come find me. And if you think you've got it figured out, then you can head on over to Mathletics and get your assignments done. Let me know if you need me.